Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Nedarim, Perek Beis, Chapter 2, Mishna Aleph, Mishna 1. Quick introduction. We have learned that there are two ways in which a person can make a neder. Either he simply says that the object of the neder is prohibited. You just say it's prohibited, that's enough. That would be enough. Or he links it to an item that itself is prohibited because of a person's declaration. Like a person says, this is like a carbon. This is like a offering. So he didn't say the word prohibited, but he linked it to something prohibited, and something that became prohibited through his declaration, which is what he's doing now to this object, making it forbidden through a declaration. Now, the previous chapter cited examples in the Nedarim that are valid because they refer to items of this type. Right? Even if he didn't say carbon explicitly, but it related to different words and different things that relate to sacrifices. This chapter begins by dealing with statements that are invalid Nedarim, because they are linked either to items that are forbidden by the Torah without a person's declaration, or items that are not forbidden at all. Okay, the point here is that until now we've been discussing the declarations that are valid Nedarim, and now we're going to talk about declarations that are not valid Nedarim. So the Mishna begins, Ve'elu mutarin. These are permissible, meaning these following statements will not be an effective neder. So the first example is chulin shayaychalach. A person says, now these are the words, chulin shayaychalach. Chulin, like chulin, should be that which I eat of yours. Or in English, that which I eat of yours is like chulin. That's what he said. So what do you think? Asur or mutter? Permitted or forbidden?
Permitted.
Why?
Because it said it's like cruel.
Right. Meaning he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything about he didn't say prohibited. He didn't link to anything prohibited. And therefore, chulin shaychalach is, as we're going to see, is not a valid neder. Any chiddush in that, any novel idea in that, seems pretty simple, right? And the Bartanura says, yes, it is simple. But this is our introductory. That everything that follows this is going to be just like saying chulin shaychalach. It's the same thing as saying as not even mentioning anything forbidden. Okay, now we come to the other cases. A person says kivasar chazir, the which I eat of yours is like chazer, is like pork. Okay, that's what he says. That which I eat of yours is like pork. Clearly, he's trying to say that which I eat of yours should be forbidden. That's what he's clearly trying to say. However, what's he linking to? What? Without question. The question is, though, what is he linking it to? He's linking it to basar chazir, to meat of a chazir, kavod zara, or he says that which I eat of yours should be like idol worship. Anything involved with an idol or the worship of an idol becomes forbidden. Okay, so he's trying to forbid this person's food like idol worship would be, like something that was worshipped as an idol for an idol. Kairis levuvin. Now listen to this one. Kairis levuvin means your food. A person says your food should be forbidden to that which you eat of yours should be like the hides of levuvin offerings. Now look at that word levuvin. What word do you see in the word levuvin? Lave, heart. So what these idol worshippers would do like this, okay? The levuvin offering went, an idolater would pierce the chest of a living animal, remove the heart, and bring it as an offering to his idol. Clearly, something that you may not benefit from. Mm-hmm. So he says, each of yours should be like the hides of the levuvin offerings. Keneveles. He says that which of yours should be like an avela. What's an avela? An animal that dies without shechita, forbidden to eat from. Ketrefos, or he says your food should be like trefos. Trefos are animals that are fatally injured. They're injured in a way that will cause them eventually to die. They are forbidden to eat. Okay, so again, he says that your food should be to me like trefos, or he says kishkatzim. Your food should be to me like shkatzim. What are shkatzim? Shkatzim, what the exact English translation for the word shkatzim, I'm not sure, is maybe abomination, disgusting. But that word shkatzim includes, okay, you ready? Non-kosher birds, non-kosher fish, and insects. Mm-hmm. That is what a sheketz is. Person says that which is yours should be like shkatzim to me, keramasim, or like creepy things, creepy as creepy crawly things, which include worms, maggots, and lice. Okay? So again, clearly the person is trying to say that it should be forbidden. Now, kachalas aron ukatrumasai, like the chal of aron. Chal of aron means, we know that from the dough that we make, you have to separate a certain amount that goes to the kayin. So the Mishna tried to call it the chal of aron because he is the first kayin. But it means your food should be to me like challah. Challah only a kayin can eat from. Other people can't. Or katrumasai, or like truma, right? The separation of the grain that we give to the kayin. In all these cases we just listed, you link to something forbidden. Nonetheless, mutter. Everything remains permitted. The other person's food is permitted to you. This neder that you made was an invalid neder. Why was it invalid? So it's invalid because of the fact that, number one, if you look at a lot of these examples, kabasa chazir, right? Do you have to declare the basa chazir anything for it to be forbidden? No, it's automatically forbidden. And so number one is that when you make a neder and you link to something forbidden, you have to link the item you want to forbid through your declaration to something that becomes forbidden through a declaration. And in some of these cases, you don't do that, okay? Now, but they bring down here in the notes from the Bartanura another important point, and that is, moreover, only something that becomes prohibited through a voluntary statement can be used for the purposes of linkage in a neder. So here's the point. When you separate challah, right? Even though I think this is a shayla halacha, but when you separate challah, you have to declare it challah. Maybe you do, if you have to say the words or not, but bottom line is that it's not automatic, right? It's in the very least that you have to separate it, and they bring down here that, right, although they are designated by a person, in the brackets they say, who says this part of the dough is challah, or this part of the produce is truma, so you have a declaration there, right? It's not like you don't have a declaration. It's not like it's automatic. There's something you got to do there. Nonetheless, it's not voluntary. It's obligatory, right? You have to separate challah. You have to separate truma. Okay, so the process of doing it may involve your declaration. But at the end of the day, you got to do it. When it comes to the linkage for a neder, the same way the neder is something that's voluntary, right? I don't have to make this forbidden. I voluntarily make it forbidden. If I want to link this object, if I want to make my neder by linking it to something that is forbidden, it has to be something forbidden through declaration and something forbidden to a voluntary declaration, not a mandatory one. And therefore, even in the case of challah in truma, if you want to make your neder by saying your food should be like challah or your food should be like truma, it will not take effect because although your declaration, you're involved in bringing it about, nonetheless, it's not voluntary, and the only way a neder can be made without explicitly saying it's forbidden. If you want to make it through linkage to something forbidden, it has to be linkage to something forbidden through your declaration, through your voluntary declaration. Okay, we will stop here. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you very much.